Hey, this is Tim Durling. Welcome to another edition of Tim's Vinyl Confessions. This is a very special edition for me. As you can see, I have another guest. This is my daughter, Marley.
Yo.
And Marley has been nice enough to sit in on this one. Actually, at the time we're filming this, today is actually Marley's 14th birthday. So, happy birthday, Marley. Now, you may be wondering, what's a 14-year-old girl doing sitting in on a show with her father where he only talks about a bunch of old rock music? Well, reason for that is Supernatural, the TV series. And that's been on for about 10 years, heading into their 11th season. Show about a couple of brothers that go around fighting off demons and vampires and the usual thing. And Marley, you summed it up earlier. If you could sum up that show in 5 words, how would you do it?
Brothers, monsters, old rock, angst, and more angst.
That's actually more than 5 words, but that's okay.
6.
So, I got introduced to the show about a year ago, so did she. We both really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and you really get to know the characters, and it's some funny moments and scary moments and everything in between. But one of the cool things about Supernatural is its use of classic rock music, oftentimes at just the right moments. Montages, just certain action scenes, whatever it may be. They make good use of good classic rock, and because of that, it's reintroduced that music to a generation which otherwise wouldn't have paid any attention. So I think it's fantastic for that reason. Other than it just, even without that, it would still be a good show, but it's just an extra bonus that they include such great music. The show really doesn't have a theme song, but if it did, it would come off of this album right here. Of course, if you've watched Tim's Vinyl Confessions, you know this is Kansas Left Overture, which opens up with Carry On Wayward Son. How does Carry On Wayward Son fit into Supernatural?
It is always played at the beginning of every season finale, where they kind of, go over what has happened in the past season, and yeah.
And they are kind of wayward sons.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the unofficial theme song, and there are lots of shirts now with the lyrics to that song and incorporated into Supernatural. Speaking of, Marley actually has a Supernatural shirt which she got for her birthday. What does that shirt say?
Driver picks the music, shotgun shuts his cake hole.
That was the character Dean Winchester. He and his brother Sam are the main characters in Supernatural, and Dean, of the two of them, is the guy that likes his classic rock. Drives a black Impala around, and that's where this comes in. Hold this up and talk a little bit about how they've used this song.
Can't really remember much. Oh, yes, I do. For whatever reason, during the show, they couldn't use the Impala for some reason. And, it was a season finale. And they got the Impala back, and they were making a big entrance. And as they were driving into this entrance, Back in Black was playing. And it kind of just pumped up the mood.
Again, it's a good example of using the right song at the right time. AC/DC is always good for that. Another all-black album cover. This one actually has 2 songs that have been used in Supernatural. This is the debut album from Bad Company from 1974. Marley, what 2 songs, can you identify which 2 songs have been used?
Bad Company, by Bad Company.
The song.
And, I'm Ready for Love?
Yes. Ready for Love is in one of Dean's romantic interludes. There's another one. That's just a cool album cover anyway, good to show off. The first Boston album from '76, and this has used 2 songs. Peace of Mind, which I'd forgotten about till I read it online, and Long Time, I believe, was Montage.
Yeah.
What does it say? The story so far? Is that how they do it?
Yeah, The Road So Far.
The Road So Far, yes. That is a weird thing about watching it on Netflix, as we have done. Not every song that's been used makes it to Netflix, probably because of copyright reasons. Because I've read about songs being used in episodes, and I've seen that episode, and I don't remember that song being used. Because some of which I got very excited about, and I don't remember hearing it. Alright, Def Leppard, Pyromania. And the song Rock of Ages was used. Do you remember where?
Yep. It was a show-off between Lucifer and his brother Michael And they were basically going to show off that in a big showdown that would, like, destroy the planet. And Dean comes in his Impala playing Rock of Ages.
It's very cool. They don't play much of it, but enough to get the... Here's another one that's a montage song. This is the debut Foreigner album, Long, Long Way From Home. That's a montage song, isn't it?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. This is one I'd forgotten about until I was just going through my CDs. This is Lynyrd Skynyrd, Nothing Fancy, their third album from 1975. I'm pretty sure that Saturday Night Special is used at the beginning of one of the episodes. Can you confirm or deny that? Marley cannot confirm or deny that. Okay, next up, Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. This is the very, very best of Nazareth, one of the many compilations of that band that came out in 84, but Hair of the Dog is from 75, and I'm pretty sure that that song was used at some point during Supernatural. Okay, look at this one. I forgot about this one too. This is REO Speedwagon, and their hit Can't Fight This Feeling, their classic ballad from the 80s, was used, I think, this was a Dean and Joe thing, where she played it on the jukebox, and then he sang it, and you can't really sing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just remembered one I got to grab. Save that for last. Queensryche, the Empire album from 1990, including Silent Lucidity. What can you tell us about how that song was used in Supernatural? Not to put you on the spot, but I'm putting you on the spot.
Probably an angsty brotherly montage.
Silent Lucidity was the episode, and I can't think of her name, but Sam falls in love with this girl that's a werewolf, and she actually has to do something terrible to herself so she doesn't hurt anyone else. And that song is playing, it's total angst. Camera focuses on Dean, he's crying, and then bang.
Yes.
And Silent Lucidity is the song that's being used. One of my and the thing is, we're going to end up on a couple really, really funny notes. Dean is funny, and
Dean, yes.
And so, well, they both are. Like, and if you see the behind the scenes stuff, it's really good. It's just a fun show to watch. Of course, this is Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. I mean, what more? I don't really need to say anything more about this album, except for the fact that Wanted Dead or Alive is used to great effect. How is that used in Supernatural?
Sam and Dean are in the Impala driving to some big event, no less.
Was that not the same Showdown episode?
No.
No?
This was in season 3.
Or was this a Crossroads thing?
Yes, this was a Crossroads theme.
Okay.
Dean was about to lose his soul, basically, and they were all just kind of sad. And so Dean turned on the radio, and they both just started singing along to Wanted Dead or Alive, and it was a happy, bittersweet moment.
Right. And speaking of moments that are just plain ridiculous, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to let you do all the talking,
Okay.
except I'm just going to say this is Survivor.
Eye the Tiger. It's not even, well, I guess it is in the episode, but the longer, funnier version of it is at the end. It's an outtake. Dean is in the Impala, just kind of sat, just relaxing or whatever, and Eye the Tiger comes on, and he just starts dancing and lip-syncing along to it, and he just gets right into it, and it's just a moment where you just...
Prior to this episode filming, if I think of it, I'm going to post a YouTube link on the Facebook page in case you've never seen the show and have no point of reference what we're talking about. Actually, leading up to this episode, I'll try to see if I can find the places where these songs are used. So, well, there's a lot more songs than that, and I've only gotten so far into the series, so I know I've missed some. They've used songs to great effect, like Rooster by Alice in Chains, Renegade by Styx. Very, very cool use of that song. House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, which is just plain creepy the way that they use that. It's a recurring theme whenever that song comes on the radio. You know something bad's about to happen. What else is there? Heat of the Moment by Asia, used to great effect. I believe the same episode as Eye of the Tiger.
No, it's... I think it's a different Bon Jovi. maybe, possibly. But
Another
anyway.
thing I just thought of this about Supernatural, what makes it great, is that they usually masquerade as FBI agents or, policemen or people of some importance so they can get into a crime scene to see if they can figure out what's going on, and they use aliases. Oftentimes, they use aliases of rock musicians. So there'll be Agents Tyler and Perry, Agents Fraley and Simmons, Agent Sambora, Agent Nugent, Agents Hetfield and Ulrich. It goes on and on and on. And I guess I should give an honorable mention to Led Zeppelin, because the show creators reference Led Zeppelin a lot in some of the titles of the episodes, which are titles of Led Zeppelin songs like When the Levee Breaks, What Is and What Should Never Be, In My Time of Dying. There's a ton of references to Led Zeppelin, but their music is very, very expensive to license, so they don't actually use it, but they end up getting by with a lot of great rock. So Marley, thank you very much for sitting in on this episode of TVC, and she's totally bored now. But yeah, do yourself a favor, if you got Netflix or if you've got CW, check out Supernatural. It's a lot of fun. It's a great show. And we will be seeing you again, or at least I will, on another edition of Tim's Vinyl Confessions.